Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 27 of the October Daily Draws. As we close out the weekend and approach a new week, let's see what message we get. Now, I'll be taking the first card from the Ghost Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go, and today we will go we have the Nine of Swords. So maybe we have to look at what's going on in our head sometimes, and sometimes we get a lot of concerns and worries and looming thoughts and anxious thoughts and everything that going on in our mind, and it can build up into quite a dismal cloud that hangs over us and sometimes keeps us awake at night, things that we're worrying about, things that are in our head. And we need to get some kind of resolution to these thoughts. That even the thoughts that are based on things that are legitimate concerns, that maybe issues that have some degree of substance that would give us cause to worry about, they're not. I mean, sometimes a lot of this thinking is in our heads, and it's what we imagine might happen, and we catastrophize in our minds about a situation without any substance. Some of the thoughts in our minds are conjured up by our own minds, by our own, and by what other people say, and what we take on board. And some of them are they only have the substance to which we give to them. So, in other words, they have no basis in fact, but it's what we imagine. It's an imagined thought, imagined scenario that gives us that worry, and those are the ones that really we should be taking in hand and dismissing somehow straight away. Those are the ones that are really just phantoms of gloom that really have no basis, and the more we entertain them, the thicker and darker the cloud of gloom and despair can descend. The key here is not to give any power to them, particularly because they have no substance in fact or reality. They're just conjured in our imagination. So first of all, that's those, and we have to be discerning about those thoughts. There are other things where we have worries in life. There are things and concerns in life that arise, challenges that we face that can be sources of worry and concern, and there is some substance to them. We can't deny that fact is there, that issue is there. It's not imaginary in our minds, it's in our lives, it's real. But the key here is how much does the thought we're having about that substancing that fact of substance, that issue that we know is real in our lives, but how much does our current thinking help deal with it? And how much does our current thinking only add to the problem and demoralizes us and takes away our ability to deal with the problem? So you've got to discern between the thoughts. You've got to be discerning about your thinking, about which thoughts have substance and which don't, and just dismiss the ones that don't. That those are just phantoms of gloom, and just cast them away. The ones that do have some kind of substance, like the obvious one is a money issue about how you're going to pay something, for instance. That's a substantial issue. Something needs to be paid, and you need to be able to pay it. And if there's a problem with you having enough to pay it, that is an issue that could cause worry. And it's not one thing you can just readily dismiss and ignore, because that's still the thing still needs to be paid. But the more we get into the aspect of gloom and worry and despair about it, the less able we are to deal with the issue of paying that bill. So we may need to find, and we need to realize and accept that kind of thinking is not going to make the problem go away. It's only going to make the problem worse, because it's going to make us feel worse about it and weaken our ability to deal with it. So we need to be a bit more constructive with our thinking of ways we can perhaps create some income, or can we sell something to create some money in order to pay the bill? Is there something we can do? Can we go for advice on how to perhaps to deal with that? Is there some financial advice we can seek somewhere that will help us deal with the problem in a more constructive way? Maybe get ways that we don't know about or have not considered. So these are all sorts of things in our head that we have to deal with. And as I say, the only power we give to any thought of any kind is that which we give to it. The ones without substance we can dismiss, we should dismiss. And that's easier said than done. But we need to, just by acknowledging the truth that there's no basis for these thoughts, or we are just imagining them as possibilities. But if there's no substance to them, they're only possibilities if we make them possibilities. With the other issues that I've just mentioned, the power we give to them is whether we allow them to overwhelm us, or whether we say, well, it's a real situation, but we'll seek a solution. We won't, and we'll do our best to seek to at least minimize the problem and maybe even resolve it. And it may take some time, but it's tackling the problem, doing the things I've suggested. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Haunted. We may be haunted by these thoughts, the phantoms of gloom. They may follow us, and issues of the past may factor into here, because we've had issues in the past and we think, are they repeating, or things like that, things that are again that thoughts. But whatever the case, we can take control of them. We can be discerning about our thoughts, and where possible, seek a solution. Let them point to the solution. Let the issue become solution orientated rather than problem orientated. And if there's no real substantial problem there, just cast it from your mind and focus on what we do have and get control of our thinking. And that's what the message is today. So I'll be back tomorrow with day 28. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.